Da-na, da-na, do-do-do-do-do. Da-na, da-na, do-do-do-do. Three guys and no bear are here with the Rob Bird. And now here's Coach Grandor. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
It's a bird every time now, isn't it?
It's always a bird.
Well, what happens is I keep trying to go hit that high note that I used to be able to hit real well, and I just can't. And I mean, not on the podcast either.
You're getting older.
When I was younger. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Old.
And I
Can't
can't.
hit those high notes. Just forget about it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yep. Speaking of rough, football.
Wild card weekend.
Football. Wild card weekend has
Super
arrived.
Bowl
Weekend.
bound.
Football. Wild card.
Football.
Super Bowl. Playoffs.
Playoffs. We're just trying to win a game.
Playoffs.
We're trying a new stream of consciousness direction for the podcast. We're just gonna say words
wasn't
that
already.
come to our head. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Isn't that like literally every single episode?
Yeah, more or less.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
So playoffs. It is. It's here. The regular season has come to a close.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting what a lot of these teams do. We've already had coach firings. We've had Lovie Smith got fired from the Texans. Who would have guessed that?
Lovie.
Gonna happen now.
He just gets no chance.
He really doesn't.
I mean, what did they expect from him? He got put into the Texans just shit pile, and they expected him to do anything. Are you kidding me?
The Texans almost won a lot of games too.
They almost won. That doesn't get you a win on the board, though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's the Vikings almost lost a lot of their game.
Yeah,
To be honest,
I think the Texans were the most competitive tank team I've ever seen.
They were pretty competitive.
It's insane
tank
how
team.
good they played with how they're supposed to be awful.
Yeah. They did fail their last tank game though, so maybe that's why he got fired. Either way, he got fired. Browns fired defensive coordinator Joe Woods. Neat.
What a world.
The Titans fire offensive coordinator Todd Downing. The football team fires Scott Turner, their offensive
It's a lot
coordinator.
of names that aren't Matt Canada, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
And the big one, Cardinals fire Cliff Kingsbury.
Had to
Head
happen.
coach.
The leader of the lion pack himself, the man with just portraits of lions wearing crowns everywhere in his house, now has to probably go coach for the Lions or maybe the Patriots.
He'll probably go back to college, honestly.
Yeah.
Should.
Well, I mean, is he gonna
Hiring
get another
college coaches?
Dude, no, honestly, Cliff Kingsbury, I just want to again point out is actually an exceptional case of failing upwards because seriously, if you look at his entire record, it's like it's losing in college and in the NFL, which I mean, like everybody, you could turn it around, of course, but I don't know. He just keeps getting bigger and bigger jobs. I don't know. Maybe he'll go into broadcasting or something now, or get another head coaching gig in college.
I guarantee some college team will hire him.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Well, I cannot wait to see Hard Knocks this week because, man, of course, it would have already played because this is going out on Friday, but I cannot wait to see the results of Hard Knocks because that is going to be a funny episode.
I think the Cardinals might have been maybe competing with the Broncos and the Rams for the most disappointing team of the season.
Oh, it's Broncos by far. Broncos.
Yeah, I'd say.
I mean,
Broncos.
I would say the Rams probably are more disappointing than the Cardinals, just because it's their sophomore year. It's their honeymoon year after the Super Bowl, which might be the worst. I still don't know if Rob's found a stat on that yet.
Oh no, I don't know.
I think it is the worst. If not, they are in the top three. It's gotta be real bad. We looked it up 1 week. They're definitely in the top three. But yeah, that's Broncos, Rams, Cardinals. That's just, man, they went 4-13.
Yeah.
Whew. They even had Kyler Murray got hurt, but he was playing most of the year. It's not like he wasn't there.
No, yeah, the team was just bad.
Yeah.
I really hope there's a lesson to be learned about where you find your coaches, honestly, from this point on. I know there won't be, There won't be. But
yeah,
my God, I had to. So I have to. Do you guys know what Matt Canada, like who he is, like what he did before being the coach of the Steelers?
What he did.
But he had never coached for an NFL team before ever. He's coached for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different college. He was an offensive coordinator for 9 different college teams for only about 1 to 2 years for each of them. What?
Yeah.
How did he get this job?
Yeah.
He hasn't held a position longer than like 2 years for like any good team.
I have
They're all college
confirmed
teams.
that the 2022 Rams, 2021, 2022 Rams, 22, 23, whatever.
Right.
This year's Rams
You're just saying numbers now.
are the worst
Social Security
season after following a Super Bowl championship. They finished.
Wow.
They finished 5-12. That beats the Broncos post Elway going 6-10.
Wow. That might be, and Sean McVay, we don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah, if I remember retire, I know that's the rumor.
He'd probably just announce, isn't it? Like he has some like contract and set in place.
He said that he's not gonna hold his assistants. He said you can go look for new jobs if you want. That's what he said today, I think.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
yeah,
he's done so.
Wow. But
I mean, he'll probably he seems like the kind of guy that might do this, might retire, and then he'll do it for like a year and hate it, and then go get another job in the NFL.
Oh yeah, that does sound like what he would do, almost like the Sean Payton.
Yeah. Or retire for 40 days and come back and lead your team to the playoffs.
There's actually like the Sean Payton thing is actually really like relevant now because he retired and then he just went on Fox and talked about whatever, and now everyone's like wanting to get him again, and apparently the Broncos want to talk to him, but the Saints want like a first-round pick if he goes there. So
Broncos, you gotta stop, man. It's like there's someone up there. They're like addicted, dude. They're like, I don't need no draft pick because I don't need it.
I mean, I don't like.
The Rams did it, right? But like now they got their win and now they're here, you know?
But here's the thing. If that's the situation, would Sean Payton still even want that job? Like go to the team that just gave up their first round pick? You know what I mean? That's what that would affect your decision, wouldn't it? I would think
money talks.
There's probably much better like situations to go to though.
Yeah. Did you guys watch that video I posted last night? About the it's basically like it's just a wrap up from a hardcore Broncos fan. Shout out to That's Good Sports on YouTube. It is a hilarious recap of what he calls the worst NFL season ever, and he goes through like all of like the talking points of like the preseason signing Russell Wilson, the excitement, the failures, the comeback, the press conferences. It's 15 minutes of hilarity. You should definitely watch it if you haven't.
All right.
It's good.
Man. Well, speaking of games, we had some.
You sure did.
Thank you.
The master of segues.
Thank you, Coach Krendor.
Yep. So things kicked off Saturday with Chiefs Raiders, and as we all predicted, this was not a close game. Jarrett Stidham did mediocre. Devontae Adams had 73 yards as the leading receiver and looked like he got concussed at the end. And the Chiefs looked like the Chiefs. And that was pretty much it.
That's honestly the whole game. It was not worth watching at all.
Yeah, no, it was a waste of time.
Honestly, most of the games. It was the exciting finale of the season, but it was really not a good week of games overall.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of teams that were just already eliminated too. That were just like not playing.
But even the games where teams weren't eliminated, they weren't good games. Jets, Dolphins, Packers, Lions.
In fact, it'll be a faster show because I don't got much time today, and these games suck. So that was Chiefs Raiders. But here's a good game: Titans Jaguars.
This game kind of sucked too, though.
It actually did kind of suck until the end.
Also, I'm gonna go back and kind of just yell at all the people on Reddit and in our Discord too, the football Discord, who just forgot how football works and all thought that it wasn't a fumble for Josh Dobbs. Like he fumbled that ball, by the way. Like, it was a fumble, everyone agreed. The refs, the announcers, the replay officials, people with eyes. It's a fumble.
Yeah.
It's a fumble.
I don't remember it.
Stop it. Stop trying to bring back the tuck rule. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Stop
it was a fumble, and
Get some help.
Thank God it was, because I'd rather watch the Jaguars than the Titans in the playoff.
Because Trevor Lawrence had a bad game. He was just missing throws. It was just a real bad game from him. But Joshua Dobbs was just having a normal game, which is,
I mean, I'll be honest. If the Bucs weren't in the playoffs, I'd be rooting for the Jaguars more than anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, the teams I'm cheering for in this order goes Bills,
Tampa,
Jaguars,
Tampa,
Bengals,
Tampa.
And that's it.
And that's it.
You misspoke there, Coach. It's pronounced Tampa Bay.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
honestly,
Buffalo.
I want to say, I don't know if this is some sort of disorder, but like, I am legitimately rooting. I would love to see Tom Brady win another one again. I think that would be hilarious. It's like some kind of Stockholm syndrome.
I would be very happy.
I don't need more divine comedy in my life, Rob. I really don't.
Now,
if the Bucs win, here you go, Rob. Okay, if the Bucs win the Super Bowl, I will give you $500.
I've sold. I offer nothing in return.
But if they don't,
you give me $500.
You have to give me $500.
No. I do not.
That's a terrible deal. That is an awful deal.
I will certainly not agree. That is I've never bet in my life. That is not a tempting offer. I will.
Okay. If the Bucs win the Super Bowl, Rob, I will give you $100. No strings attached.
Yeah, again, 100%.
And if they don't, I get $100.
It won't be coming for me.
We're gonna make silly bets,
I would probably say I want my fourth team. I'd Chargers. You know what? I'll throw them up there.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah. I guess Geno season, the NFC.
Geno season. Giants as well, I would say. Giants.
Yeah, I'm very much on both of those.
Giants.
It's a good thing we're not wasting a whole lot of extra time here with this one game.
The Giants are a bad team. It's funny to watch bad teams win Super Bowls.
I'm not going to lie.
Right?
I really just want the Vikings to lose. That's all I want.
Yeah, I don't care about the Vikings at all.
Vikings might want to lose too, I honestly like.
It's I know how they feel. Now I know how, like, every year they're like, God, I hope the Packers lose. And I'm just like, yeah, you like that? Now I'm like, yeah, I hope they lose.
If for nothing else, just to stop the arguments about whether or not the Vikings are good or not, going into Wildcard weekend.
It's just like, that's the other thing. Like, if the Vikings were like if they were like the Eagles or the Bills, I'd be like, you know what? I want them to lose, but I think they're like a good team. So if they win, they win. But they don't feel good. That's what's so bad about it. They're not good.
No. Put a lid on it.
We've
already been there.
Oh man, you might jinx it to the Vikings winning the Super Bowl now.
It's not gonna happen. They're gonna lose.
We're gonna play a clip with music over it of you saying that over and over again on loop.
It's gonna be a Joe Flacco wins the elite dragon quarterback status of Super Bowl again.
This is going to be. Mark it down. I've said it all year. The Vikings will lose in Vikings fashion. It's gonna come down to like a field goal they blow. Something is gonna happen, and it's gonna be like, well, there it is, calling it out.
Vikings blow. Got it.
All right, then we had the
Steelers Browns.
The Steelers Browns. Whoa! Hey, the Steelers actually did what they had to do and won the game.
Yeah. Honestly, this game wasn't even as close as the score either. And you're like, it's a 14-point win. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it should have been like a fucking 24-point win. Steelers got robbed of a touchdown at the start. This was, by the way, one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen. It was so bad. I'm glad it didn't matter. The Steelers still won by a good margin, but holy moly.
I don't know what referees think holding is now these days, but it wasn't that.
That wasn't even the Steelers got a touchdown, and they just honestly, like, Tomlin should have challenged it. That's kind of on Tomlin, but it was also just kind of obviously a touchdown. They just didn't call it. So
yeah,
that's annoying. And then there was a really Pickens made an insane, unreal catch, just fucking ridiculous. Under 2 minutes left in the first half, I think, so it was under 2 minutes, couldn't challenge, and it was a catch, and they just didn't review it. They didn't send it up to the 2 minute review.
Yep.
And that would have also probably been a touchdown. I don't understand that. There was a awful. Like our weekly, how the fuck was that roughing the passer penalty where Hayward just tackled, a serial sexual assaulter, and it was just a very fine tackle, and they were like, can't do that. Yeah. And that gave the Browns a touchdown. It was a significant play. They were stopped, and it gave them the touchdown. So, I'm happy that we still won. Fuck the Jets. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I mean, I agree, to be honest.
And we have to congratulate Apollo for once again getting another season confirmed that the Steelers are still good and God tier at selecting wide receivers in the draft.
Yes. Yep.
I said at the start of the season,
crazy.
He would have been rookie of the year if we had a better quarterback situation. I'm still convinced. But,
and Mike Tomlin doesn't break a streak.
He still has a streak. I don't know. I'm annoyed we lost. If fucking Mitchell Trubisky wasn't so fucking awful and didn't throw 3 interceptions in that game against the Ravens, we'd be in the playoffs right now over the Ravens, and they'd be out where they fucking belong. That being said, I saw a good comment. It'll be my closing statement on the Steelers season. Honestly, better to go out on a high note, with a winning record than go and get utterly fucking shit smashed by the Bills in the playoffs and, go off on a bad note. So you know what? That's a fair point. I kind of see it. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Or imagine getting shit on and then still not making the playoffs.
Yeah. Imagine losing, being in control of your destiny, and not being able to beat the Detroit Lions for the playoffs.
We'll get there.
Imagine starting the season 7-2. And then
Krendor cursing you and saying the Jets are a 7 to 8 win team, and he was completely correct.
I told you.
To be fair, it was Breece Hall going down, which
that was a big.
That was a big
and
one,
Mike White getting 700 ribs shattered as well.
Yep, that'll also do it.
That's a lot.
And also Zach Wilson being drafted at the second number.
We knew that beforehand.
And him being a milf banging crybaby soy boy. So there you go.
Who would have guessed it? Also, who would have guessed that the Bengals would beat Anthony Brown and the Ravens?
I'm so mad that the Ravens in the playoffs. I'm irrational.
I am actually.
I'm very rationally
I couldn't tell,
upset.
really?
I'm rationally upset at it.
Are you
because
sure?
They are
because you seem very calm about
significantly
this.
worse team than the Steelers right now. Without Lamar Jackson, they are hopeless.
Yeah.
As are the Dolphins without Tua. Literally a hopeless team. So having both of those teams ahead of us in the playoffs makes me want to die.
I still don't know who Anthony Brown is. So
yeah. You don't know Anthony Brown, who went to Purdue?
Yep. 19 for 44.
Purdue.
That's so bad.
And this is a playoff team.
God, wow. 19 of 44. That's below 50%. And he threw 2
interceptions. That's awful.
My God.
Thank you for math lessons.
That's below 50%.
That's less than 50%.
So and
that's about half.
Here, and the Ravens are acting like Lamar. We don't know if he's going to play or not. He's not going to play. Why would you rest Why would they rest Huntley if they thought that Lamar's clearly not going to play?
Yeah, probably.
All right. This as of 7 hours ago, it says Lamar Jackson told people he thinks he'll be back, but there's a twist. What could the twist be? You might ask.
What's the twist?
I don't know.
Wait, he really left? He made a cliffhanger of his injury?
He said there was a twist? Is his ankle still twisted? Is that what he means?
If he said there's a twist, or if this is BaltimoreRavens.com saying there's a twist. Let's see. Revelation, McAfee, Zonder McAfee. Other people who watched him are not so sure. McAfee made a guttural sound of disappointment, which was likely a where's
what
the
does
twist?
That sound like, Coach?
Let's see. I think it's honestly, I think he'll try to play, but if it's not going well, then he'll stop. That's what I think.
If I were him, I wouldn't play. This team is bad anyway. Even with him, he's on a contract year, right?
Yes.
I would not play if I were. I know people are like, I want to win, I want to go, but this team's not going to the fucking Super Bowl. Are you kidding me?
I will say, I don't think him getting injured now would really significantly affect his earning potential.
It's not well. It's about getting an injury that makes you work. Like to act as if injuries are things that are temporary, but the injuries, I mean, can be permanent in a way. So
the RG3 one. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield to an extent too. I feel like he has never really recovered from that injury.
No, as you
JJ
say,
Watt,
certain injuries don't heal; they just like scarify, and
Well, the thing is, like, even if he plays, he's not gonna be himself. Like it's plus. Listen, they're playing the Bengals. Like the Bengals are gonna win.
Yeah, we're all rooting for the Bengals.
Yeah. So cool. Then we had the Google Chrome load.
Vikings
Bears. This game sucked. The Bears started Nathan Peterman.
Well, hey, let's give credit to the Vikings for finally winning a game that wasn't close. Wow, they did it.
They did it.
It took the worst team in football.
Nathan Peterman and Tim Boyle.
But man, finally you got just in time for the playoffs. Now, but don't lose to the Giants. That'd be really embarrassing if you guys were out one and done to the Giants.
Sure would be embarrassing.
Who would have thought that the Bears would have ended up with a worse record than the Texans?
Oh, dude,
that's actually impressive.
The Steelers have their second round pick. It's a 32nd pick. Oh my God, it's basically a first rounder for Chase Claypool. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, they traded essentially a first rounder for Chase Claypool, who had 14 catches for him this year.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's bad.
That's eating good in the neighborhood right there. Is what I'm saying.
That is terrible. Like, my God, there's no team that doesn't.
You guys keep saying bad, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? This is the best thing ever.
Yeah, I for one am very much looking forward to next year's draft. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, no, it's we got a lot of quarterbacks again, now, right?
Yep.
Oh boy, yeah,
it was
another cycle,
heavy class,
another run.
We're waiting for Rob's quarterback report.
Oh boy,
I'm excited to see who our next wide receiver will be on the Green Bay Packers.
Just find out who we want to draft and draft them instead.
You know who would be hilarious? Like Rodgers retires, and the first pick they do this year is a wide receiver after not getting him any help in the first round for like 18 years for offense.
That'd be the ultimate just F you.
Yeah. They're just like, he's retired. They're like, yeah, Jordan Love, he could use some help. We'll get him a wide receiver first round, maybe offensive line. Okay.
I can't wait for the draft, dude. It's gonna be a fun draft.
It's gonna be fun. Speaking of which, I have the draft order up. I might as well say it now.
Oh yeah.
So Bears number 1, Houston number 2, Cardinals number 3, Colts number 4, Broncos giving their pick to Seattle for number 5.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The Rams giving their pick to Detroit for number 6.
Oh,
that's rough.
That's oof. Vegas at 7, Atlanta 8, Carolina 9, and the Saints giving their pick to the Eagles at 10.
The Eagles have the 10th pick, and they're favored to go to the Super Bowl. What the fuck?
It's actually kind of funny because then Tennessee's 11, and then at 12 is Cleveland, who's given their pick to Houston. So Houston picks at 2 and 12.
That's a good draft coming up.
And then
it's gonna be wacky and wild.
Jets are at 13. I think it was the highest they've picked in a while.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
I think he meant highest as in the lowest.
Lowest.
That's what I meant.
He meant the opposite, bud.
The number was higher.
But don't worry, guys. The Broncos have the 49ers pick, and they're not.
Well, as long as they're trade away for Sean Payton.
Woo!
That's a good point.
And by the way, everybody, this was speaking of the first rounder to the Bears or to the Steelers from the Bears. Like, it actually is a first rounder because Miami forfeits their pick, so it technically is the 32nd pick.
That's right. Yeah, they got docked.
Yep. So
wait, how did the Jets pick ahead of the Steelers? I thought they have a tiebreaker with. Oh, they lost their game. Never mind. Okay, that makes sense.
The Patriots. Did they? Did the Jets lose?
They sure did, Rob.
Yeah, and I have every bit as fucking reason to be mad as you. All right.
Well.
Almost every bit of
who'd have thunk that you could lose just by kicking 2 field goals and nothing else for an entire game?
Well,
what do you know?
It's
What do you know that you need offense in the NFL? Who could have thunk it, huh? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
what a weird idea.
The Vikings beat the Bears, who were trying to lose. Congratulations. Then we had Patriots Bills.
Probably the best game all week, honestly.
Probably.
If you don't count the Texans Colts game.
Naheem Hines with 2 touchdown kick returns.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
ridiculous.
Straight up magic, man. Like the way that game started.
Yeah.
You can't have asked for a better conclusion to that, because I either shortly after that game or the next day, I don't exactly remember, but Damar Hamlin released from the hospital.
Yeah. Which is insane.
The dude died.
I know. Have you guys talked about it already? Because it's remarkable to me the fucking speed of his recovery. Like, holy shit, he's like basically fine.
Yeah, he's basically fine after dying.
Dude, one of the things, it's weird because this sport is obviously extremely dangerous and violent and horrifying and damaging to people's bodies. However, if you had to have an injury like that anywhere, you'd kind of want to have it right there, right? Because I mean, they have they immediately
the best medical staff.
Oh, you meant
right
I
ready to go.
thought you meant the heart, and I'm like, no.
No.
What are you talking about?
The only better place would be if his brain exploded, right? Like that would have been safe.
Every stadium has
popped like firecrackers.
Fully staffed ambulance,
like you got
right there.
Medical. They said the only better place to have that happen is the hospital.
Is in the actual hospital.
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing is that with having to do CPR, it's like every second that you're not getting oxygen, that your heart's stopped, your brain necrosis is happening. Yeah. And
so shout out again once more to the medical staff for fucking crushing it, because they saved the dude's life and basically made it so that he had no repercussions apparently.
Yeah, actually insane.
We went from wondering if he was dead to if he would be a vegetable to if he would be able to function to now it's like, is he just gonna play football in like a week? Is he just gonna get back on the field? Like,
man, he really shouldn't though.
He's not.
Wait till next year if you're gonna play.
Jokes aside, he is on injured reserve. So
he's got to declare, and then he'll play next week after the Bills win.
That being said, I did want to say one thing about this whole, as we wrap up this honestly tragic but good ending story. Internet weirdos, log off. Just log off, because
none of them are listening to this show. Thankfully.
I know, but I have to say it fucking annoys me, man. That you could tell the second, the moment the news shifted from bad to good, and he was gonna be okay. Everyone was like, "Shut up!" Not everyone, but lots of people were like, "All right, shut up. We get it, Damar Hamlin. Okay, move on. Shut the fuck up. Log off." Go do anything else other than write comments on the internet. It's now we have
empathy.
It is now an inspiring, amazing, awesome story. And they were like, why are we doing moment of silence for a guy who's alive? First off, dumb fucks. They weren't moments of silence. They all instead asked the crowds to cheer, which was awesome. And it was cool seeing everyone cheer and, be like, yeah, recover. That was cool. Second, fucking log off. Sorry, I had a whole hour when the game started where there were just so many comments. I'm happy for Damar Hamlin.
About this, or is there?
Where are you finding those though? On Twitter?
It was just all over Reddit. There's so many Reddit weirdos, and Twitter too.
Your mistake is going on Twitter and Reddit. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I do it to myself. It's just
I can't feel sorry for you.
Humanity is this collective group.
I actually moved Twitter to a folder in the back of my phone, so I have to actively go out of my way to get there.
That's a good idea.
That's smart. One step closer to deleting it from your phone, which you should absolutely do.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, the Patriots wanted to win this game still.
This is the best game I've seen the Patriots. I've been shit on the Patriots all year. I kind of feel bad. This was the one game they actually played well in, and they
really
played
did.
the Bills.
Yeah, they shut up when they had to, and it wasn't enough because the Bills are still just way better.
Yep, the Bills, every time they'd be like, okay, here we go, we're coming back. Then there's Josh Allen digs 80 yards. All right, great.
Yeah,
and that
sounded like a barking chub.
No, that's Taffy getting very upset at mom having left and now getting home, and so they're letting her know that they're very mad that she left.
It's also my nickname in college.
Yep. Barking Chub. Mac Jones, 3 TDs, but 3 picks, which was a big problem. But I mean, Patriots still got to feel pretty good moving forward. Like they're not bad. It seems like they got some pieces.
I don't know, man.
They were bad. Like... No. This was. I feel like it was an outlier game. They might get better now that they have, an off season to.
I feel like it might be worse than that. I feel like we might be entering the eternal realm of mediocrity.
Limbo.
Possible.
Because Bill will not allow us to be bad, but we're not good enough to be good. So it's like we might just keep winning 6 to 10 games a year and be stuck there. 10 would be a blessing.
It's really going to revolve around whether or not Mac Jones is it or not, and I don't think he's it, but. Other people still disagree with me.
He's still in the window, man. Give him that third year.
He's still in the window, but I just from what I've seen, I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. Give him an off season, then see.
Give him a star wide receiver or something. We'll see. We'll see.
Important to note. I mean, not that I think that Mac Jones, not that I think that Mac Jones is this guy, but I mean, Tom Brady also had a shitty amount of his early years.
Come on, that's not even fair.
I'm just saying though, like that's to the points that we've been saying and because it's the Patriots team, right? But that sometimes it takes QBs like a couple of years to get into their.
But I think the thought of discourse here is that Mac Jones is not Tom. Is what we're going for.
I don't think many people are Tom.
But this Patriots team also is not those Patriots teams from 2000.
Really I mean, as good as Tom Brady was, he still had a defense that would hold you to like under 20 points.
He had a
Tom Brady is. Excuse me, coach. Not was.
Well, important to note that roster just a couple of years ago was in the Super Bowl, right? Like it was with Bledsoe. But so. This team is definitely not that one. I think.
No. Speaking of just great teams, the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins.
What a fucking shit show from both sides.
Game. Just
I'm
time.
I just want to say I'm happy that at least the one parting consolation of this season was that I got to just watch Red Zone for the last week because there was no way in hell you were gonna get me to watch the. I don't know if you guys do that. Do you guys do that where you watch just your team? Because when the Jets are on, I watch the whole Jets game.
Yes.
Now, Scott Hansen has completely converted me. I got nothing other than Red Zone.
I will
watch primetime Steelers games, but. If they're in the 1 o'clock hour, I'm just watching Red Zone.
I usually have Bucks on one, Red Zone on the other TV.
Yeah.
Well, I do have Red Zone on another screen usually when I have the Jets on. But even still, when the season's over, it's just like fuck these guys.
Yeah.
The only thing that I want to say about the Jets, right now, is that we need to. I'm at the point where I wouldn't be that sad if they cleaned house this offseason. I'm just saying. Now, I would only be okay with it if it was for like a big coaching guy,
right?
Like
Sean
if
Payton or somebody.
Exactly. Yeah. If you get like Sean Payton in here, or you get Jim Harbaugh to come out of college or something, or
Rob, Can I say something?
Sure.
This is for everybody because we talked about the most disappointing teams this year.
Okay.
Can we make an argument for the Jets?
Because
man, the way that the Jets started and our dude Breece Hall was tearing it up. We had Sauce, we had Garrett Wilson, we had all kinds of excitement for you, Rob.
Yeah.
We were totally invested in your team, Rob. And then they just jetted all over it.
I mean, I said they'd get 7 to 8 wins.
I know. This is why we get. This is what we get for getting coach involved.
You straight up cursed them.
It was like they just didn't have a quarterback. If they had a quarterback, even if they had like Jimmy Garoppolo, I'd be like, all right, they can get like 9-10 wins and like make a push. But like just having that Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, like
the only good thing that came out of this year for the Jets is that they've discovered that Zach Wilson is not the guy.
Yeah,
they thought he was the
good
guy.
news. Well, that is good news.
But he is not the guy.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I agree with everything that you just said. However, I will say that the emergence of both Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson on the year, in spite of us losing Breece Hall and ADT, I don't know I was looking at the Jets subreddit, and at the end of the year, the post-mortem stats are always fun.
Right.
The Sauce Gardner gave up. Do you know how many receptions on the year?
10.
I'm gonna say 11.
12.
I'm gonna price this right.
A little too low.
20.
A little hint.
17.
He said too low. Oh, too low, right?
Yeah, too low. Yes, that's right.
I'm so tired.
20.
15.
All right, I'll because you're guessing a little too low.
Just tell us.
I will just.
We're
tell
making
you
it underwhelming
30.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. he gave up 33 receptions on the year. 33.
Yeah, that's not 12, so I'm not impressed.
Yeah, he did have the most passes defended in the NFL at 20.
Yeah,
so.
and he that's the thing, is that like he was a monster this year, and Garrett Wilson. We just talked about how shitty the QB situation was in the Jets the whole year, right?
Yeah.
He had fucking 1,100 yards, Garrett Wilson, as a rookie with our QBs.
Yeah, that's actually amazing.
I would love to see the Jets either go after one of these. Hopefully not Derek Carr. I would feel bad for you if you
they'll go after
Derek Carr.
100%.
That's so depressing. Actually,
they'll go after Jimmy G and Derek Carr. It's gonna come down.
I would rather Derek Carr over Jimmy G. Personally.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
No. Here's the reason. It's just because Jimmy G would get into the game and he would play 3 games and then get injured for the rest of the year, and then we got Joe Flacco playing. And I've seen
Joe Flacco should not even be a fucking backup. By the way,
I agree.
That is insane how bad he played this game.
Which, by the way, I don't know why the Jets didn't use the dude that's like Tim Tebow run. Like, why didn't they?
Where was he?
Great question. That's a great question, isn't it?
The Texans have played this double quarterback for the last 5 weeks, and it's worked out really well for them.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions, lots of questions about what the hell's going on, both in the GM office at thinking that this is a good QB room, and also in the coaches. Wherever the fuck they live, in the coach house, and they are not doing anything about the QBs. They're not teaching them shit. What the fuck are they doing?
Actually, I think they do a coach boat. They all live on a boat.
Yeah, they live good, and they should sail away.
Honestly.
Yeah,
sail somewhere else.
Thank you.
Like 2 years ago, Zach Wilson's QB coach unfortunately died. We went into the season without a QB coach. Then this year, as far as I know, they didn't actually have a QB coach at the start of the season. They had to, so it took like 2 years for them to actually get a fucking QB.
All right, look, I'm sorry I even said anything.
Yeah.
Next year.
Hey, you know what? The Jets defense ranked 4th in yards per game and 3rd in points per game. So I mean, they got a defense.
Oh yeah, no.
You guys get a quarterback. You get Breece Hall healthy. That's a playoff team.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Joe Douglas is listening right now, here's what you need to do.
He is. Yeah.
I believe me. He listens intently to what I have to say. You motherfucker! You better
Well, now he's not listening now, Rob.
He turned it off.
You shiny Mr. Clean looking mother. Okay. Every draft pick needs to be on the offensive side of the ball. Every single goddamn draft pick. I'm tired of this shit. I'm watching 12 years of Jets having, oh, look at that. The defense is pretty good. Great.
Yep. I'll take the L on asking for extended Jets opinions. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Coach, you gotta go.
Right. We gotta move on.
Later, Coach.
That was the New York Jets season. But hey, you know what? Rob at least got to have fun longer in the season this time around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I got a nice catharsis at the end there, and that felt good. So thank you.
Doesn't getting shot in the back of the head feel better if you get to wait a couple of months until it happens?
Yeah.
You know, it's more that this is therapeutic for me, being around people and being vulnerable about football with you.
Yeah. Yep. That's what the point of the podcast is, I think. Yeah,
exactly.
It's being vulnerable about football.
Then we're
a very sensitive podcast.
Buccaneers play a half of football and then become a preseason game.
Literally just skip this game and go to the next.
All right.
Yeah, this was literally like a preseason game for the second half. So
it did not matter. It did not happen.
yeah,
Do not care.
Tyler Alligator 135 yards. That's all that matters.
Great
and
for
Drake London 120. There you go.
Hooray!
Fantastic. Then we had the Panthers Saints. Another meaningless
Another game that just didn't matter and
Folks,
no one cares about.
Sam Darnold completed 5 passes.
5
of 15
passes.
attempts for 2 interceptions.
And I watched this goddamn game, and I hated it, and I hate both of these teams even more than I already did.
Why did you watch this?
Because there's nothing else to watch. I was going to watch the Buccaneers game.
No. There's nothing else. There's nothing else.
Literally nothing else, Bear. There's nothing else to watch.
You could have
had
watched
this on
one
one
PBS.
I had this on one screen.
Like anything.
I had this on one screen, and I was playing Marvel Snap on the other. Okay?
There was so much content in the world. There's nothing that you would have rather done than watch this Saints-Panthers game.
The Saints-Panther on one screen, and I had Marvel Snap on the other.
I would have rather just had the monitor off. To be honest,
no, this is an Apollo situation. You are fully to blame here. No one feels bad for you because you did this to yourself.
I'm not asking anyone to feel bad for me. I'm just saying that it wasn't worth watching.
He's right. It wasn't worth watching.
I agree with him on that one.
And somehow, with 32 passing yards, the Panthers won this game.
Yep. Panthers.
Then we had the Texans blowing their first overall pick to the Colts. 32-31.
Yeah, why?
Because they wanted to get Lovey fired is the reason why.
I think he's going to get fired anyway. I don't know.
Maybe that's why he got fired, is because he was supposed to come in as a tank commander on the hush-hush, and,
Well, I mean,
he never got a fair shot. I mean, look, I didn't like him when he was with the Bucks. And I think that his best place was with the Bears, but this was just this was just assassination. I mean, Lovey just got completely railroaded, and I feel bad for him because he's such a nice guy. Like, he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just not a good coach.
Well, I mean, he was pretty good on the Bears.
He's pretty good with the Bears.
I think he's a good defensive coordinator. I don't think he's a good coach.
No, he's yeah.
It's
I like Lovey. I like Lovey. I feel bad for him. Screw the Texans for everything, but I also don't care about them.
Yeah. They went for 2 and they got it, so they won the game.
Well, more than that, it was they had a 4th and 17.
Oh yeah, that's
they converted it. It
was like a Hail Mary.
4th and 20.
It was legit like a Hail Mary.
4th and like 20s basically.
How much Taco Bell are you eating right now, Apollo?
It's Subway, all right.
Subway, my bad.
It's Subway, I'll have you know.
Don't say that like it's better. That's
Subway.
Okay, Subway, like health-wise, is 1 tier above Taco Bell.
But quality-wise, is actually the bottom of the barrel as far as fast food goes.
I would argue it's pretty clear. Like
it's better than McDonald's.
Lunch meat is still like high sodium, like kind of not great for you.
Yeah.
Then bread, the bread's just
that's
like
all,
sugar.
That's all pig asshole, and
Is there a problem?
I mean,
it's
delicious. All right, some lettuce, some like sugary bread, and then
got some greens in there. Sure, yeah. Okay, I'll give it to him.
A couple vegetables on there.
Yeah,
some crispy scrote.
All right, we're moving on.
How long did it take for us to get the phrase crispy scrote on the podcast? That was a good 5 years it took there, man. That countdown's been going for a while.
You know, that might be one of those first ever phrases kind of thing. I don't know.
Has anyone ever said a crispy scrote? You're breaking new ground here, man. I love
what happens when it's the end of the season. And there's just like only one team that we have going into the playoffs.
49ers, Cardinals.
Yep.
Woo! Another trash game. Hey, AJ Green had a touchdown. Is this 2012 again? Wow.
So what's fun about this is that they were talking to AJ Green, and apparently there's an app called Huddle, and the young receivers on the Cardinals. This is from Hard Knocks. The young receivers on the Cardinals were trying to teach AJ Green about what Huddle is, and he was trying to explain to them how old he was. When they said Huddle, he thought that they're like, yeah, did you ever get any chatter on Huddle or anything? He's like, yeah, we huddle up literally every play, blah, blah, blah. They're like, no, we're talking about the app where you get like your own personal highlights. He's like, man, I didn't even have a cell phone back then. I was like, man, this guy is old. Yeah, super duper old.
I mean, yeah, he's 34. He's practically dead.
Yeah, he's
basically Methuselah.
Yeah.
Might as well just take him behind to the shed.
Yep. And
give him a snack.
Let him go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not shoot him in the head or anything.
We have a nice
Just let him go.
carpentry studio back there. You can learn a new skill after football.
He can learn pottery.
Exactly.
Yeah. And really, this was just the 49ers. The shit on the Cardinals. Brock Purdy 3 touchdowns, 15 of 20, looked good, and that was that.
Oh yeah, I got a Brock Purdy autograph.
Really?
Oh, yes, I did.
Nice.
I'll post it in Foosball while we move on because this game sucked.
Yep. Then the Commanders beat the Cowboys, who actually
Cowboys kind of stinky, dude.
Cowboys
Real bad.
wanted to win this game too.
Yeah.
This was
a
weird.
backup Commanders team.
Yeah. Sam
Against
Howell.
a full-strength Cowboys.
There it is. I posted it in the Foosball for you, Rob.
Dude, Pollard 20 or 20 yards, Elliott 10 yards. They got smothered on the rushing game.
Yeah.
Like they could not do anything.
To be fair, the football team is kind of like the Jets of the NFC. Like their defense is really good, but God, they can't score points at all.
God, I hate this team.
Except for this game.
Except for this game, apparently, where they did.
Yeah.
So Sam Howell playing. Jarrett Patterson, never even heard of him. McLaurin had a TD. Dotson had 72 yards, and I don't know what happened. Like the Cowboys just suck.
Look, I had to Bear, I apologize. I had to look at this game for a second before I went back to the okay. Because I have to scout to see like are the Bucks actually going to be scared? And the answer is no, actually. Because when I first looked over this, I was like, oh, they must have pulled Dak and everything. They're playing Dak. They played everybody, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is going to be another easy walkover of the Cowboys at home.
Dude, I remember feeling like the Cowboys were frauds early in the season, and then midway through they started to look legitimate, and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess this is a good team again. But no, they're back to they pulled the wool over my eyes, man. This team kind of fucking sucks.
I don't like the Buccaneers or the Cowboys, so I hope it just goes for like 9 quarters and nobody wins, and it's just everyone gets really tired, and then it's just we'll just give up and nobody wins.
We shellacked the Cowboys at home on the season opener 19-3. I'll have you know.
This team.
That was when Dak got hurt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we've always had the Cowboys number, and we're going to be playing at home with Tom Brady.
This Cowboys team lost to the Bucks in the opener. They lost to the fucking Packers in OT. They lost to the Jaguars a couple of weeks ago. They should have lost to the Texans the week before that. The Texans threw that game, and the Cowboys somehow won on a miracle. Like, they've been exposed multiple times this year.
Except when they played the Vikings and blew them out 4-3.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But
Whoa!
Sorry, I had to get my Viking shots in there.
That sound made me really happy.
Sounded like you.
I did like that. Yeah, no, that was a good. Yeah.
Sounded like you threw up Mickey Mouse.
So I don't know. Listen, we've seen crazier shit. Watch the Cowboys just come out and like play well. You don't even know.
I'd be so mad if we said all this and then the fucking Cowboys
win the Super Bowl.
Nah. Don't worry, I've got it on lockdown.
There it is. Let me write it down. 4:35.
Foreshadowing.
I got it on lockdown. Okay. Then we had the Seahawks Rams, which I actually, my Rams upset pick was looking good up until it wasn't. But, I guess it was Geno season.
Look at the stats. It was really not Geno season this game, man.
He didn't do so hot.
He didn't do great.
This is the eye of the storm of Geno season. I promise you, he's coming back. Playoffs round 1.
It's got it.
Yeah,
Coach, they're
playing the Niners
right
now.
He's got it, dude. He's put him up against the best. He's got it. He's Geno season.
I would love to see the Seahawks beat the Niners. I'm so ready for that outcome. I just am so not expecting it.
Oh, I don't believe it's going to happen either. Trust me. I just have to commit to the bid at this point.
Can we acknowledge that if you told us at the start of the season, round 1 playoffs would be Geno Smith versus Brock Purdy, I don't think anyone would believe you.
I would have lost the house on that bet.
With the XFL playoffs?
Yeah. It is, man. But it'll be interesting.
I mean, I'm excited. Geno season, baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be a good game still. I mean, it's divisional.
Talking about unlocking your offense with probably one of the greatest mid-season transactions ever with Christian McCaffrey. Good lord.
Yeah,
man.
that is.
Yeah.
Niners, anyone who doubted that trade, You're just how you feeling now? Because
how could who doubted that trade?
And I mean, the fact that Brock Purdy is their best quarterback, I said it, and I'm going to continue to say it. He's better than Garoppolo and better than whatever the other guy's name was. I forget.
Yeah.
Oh, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I was going to say Kyle Trask, but he plays for the Bucs. So.
Well, you know that is an interesting topic though, because we brought it up before, but again, how much does Brock Purdy have to win here in the playoffs or how well does Brock Purdy have to do to say, I'm the guy, not Trey Lance?
I think a first round exit immediately takes him out of the conversation for starter.
It's probably true.
I think if he wins this week, then he's solidified as the guy.
I don't, even if they lose, which they're not going to, but even if they do lose, I don't think that it takes him out of the conversation for starter, because Trey Lance is not proven at all. I don't care what anybody says on that.
Plus, he's had 2 surgeries.
Yeah, and he's got two surgeries, and Jimmy G, he's had plenty of fucking time to do anything, and he's done nothing. It's Brock Purdy all the way.
Well, I would say he's done nothing, but I would say we know who Jimmy Garoppolo is. Like, he's Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, he's done nothing.
All right.
I mean, I wouldn't say it so strongly, but
there was nothing else on you guys.
I will say, in 11 games, Jimmy Garoppolo had 2,400 yards, 16 TDs, and 4 interceptions. In 9 games, 2 less games, Brock Purdy has 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. So 3 less touchdowns and 1,000 less yards, but in 2 less games, and a rookie from the 7th rounder.
He's done nothing.
So he's done nothing.
That was pretty good.
Hey, don't talk about the future Jets quarterback like that, all right?
No.
By the way, I feel like we should actually acknowledge it too. Now that it's actually happened. The fact that the Russell Wilson trade, the result of that is the Broncos well out of the playoffs, and the Seahawks having made the playoffs with Geno Smith.
That is
and the Broncos don't have their draft pick as well.
Yep,
it goes to the Seahawks.
We all said that at the beginning. We were like,
of course. We all knew this would happen.
Stupid trade 100%. For them. It's Geno season, clearly.
I am the one who's been saying it's the worst of all time. It is one of the, if not the worst signings of all time.
Well, trades.
I don't know. I still don't know.
And signings, I guess. You could combine them because they did sign.
It's hard to beat the Ditka. It's hard to beat the Ditka trade.
There's also one thing. The Broncos have looked remarkably better since they fired Nathaniel Hackett.
Yes. That's true. They have gotten better.
That is very true.
So there is a chance that next year, maybe the Broncos come back and actually do what they were supposed to do this year with a better coach.
It's possible, but I'll believe it when I see it at this point.
Rams 51, Broncos 14.
There it is.
Yeah. Got to saying that.
Then we had Eagles Giants, where Jalen Hurts came back and he did okay. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but he did win the game, which is what they needed. Yeah. Also, the Giants played like backups and they were still competitive.
Yeah,
which is kind of wacky. Like the Giants, I think Brian Daboll really is just the coach of the year. Like this dude gave
easily
him, trash, and he's made it into a playoff team.
Yeah,
playoff.
Look at that. An offensive coach comes to a New York team and in a single year turns it around.
Crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah. So with that win, the Eagles get the bye week and the 1 seed, and we'll see how that goes for them. So the road to the Super Bowl goes through Philadelphia.
They have, according to the advanced stats, a 30% chance to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, which I don't know, man. They're looking almost just as exposed as the Cowboys have been lately.
I would say that more just shows how not dominant any NFC team has been. Maybe the 49ers as of late, but outside of that, there really hasn't been any. Then we had the game I locked. The Chargers losing to the Denver Broncos. Awesome. So that was cool. Russell Wilson, 13 of 24, 283, 3 TDs and a pick. He actually played pretty well.
Now, this game, the Broncos certainly looked a lot better.
Yeah. Wow. Jerry Jeudy was a big reason. 154 yards on 5 catches.
Yeah.
That's big. Latavius Murray, 103 yards and a touchdown. And, yeah, this was...
if you're the Chargers going into this matchup versus Jacksonville, you can't be feeling good right now.
Well, somehow they're like even in the betting lines right now, though, man. Like nobody feels good about either of these teams.
Yeah, I mean the Jaguars barely squeaked in there as well, so it's like
are we all actively rooting for the Jaguars? Because I know I.
Oh
am.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would love to see the Jags to win it all.
Yeah.
They won't
Especially after
but I
last
would
year.
love to see it.
Yeah, I mean the Jaguars, what was it like 4 years ago? Almost made the Super Bowl until they ran into Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That was the
Well, honestly, that one's
pretty good.
That one's on the damn coach, in my opinion. I still
Yeah.
remember that game because I was like, no, you can't just do it, because they went into the second half with a lead and they were like, let's just run the ball a little bit, you know. And, and that did it.
Yeah, we'll
There's
do
one
it.
guy known for not giving up leads. It's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Jaguars, I saw this chart of last time each playoff team made the Super Bowl. Obviously Bengals was 2022, Buccaneers 2021, Chiefs 2021, 49ers 2020. Then we have Eagles 2018. This is when it starts getting interesting. Seattle 2015, Ravens 2013, Giants 2012, and then we really dip. The Cowboys 96, Chargers 95, Bills 94, Dolphins 85.
What is this for again?
Last time they made the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Vikings 1977. It's the last time the Vikings made the Super Bowl, and the Jaguars never. So
Jaguars.
Go Jaguars.
Yeah.
Get them to that Super Bowl. It's
Dude,
actually kind of
Jags,
crazy.
Seahawks, please. Like, I know
that would be great.
It's gonna be like a 0.01% chance of happening, but let that magic transpire just one time.
Give us the Florida Bowl. Bucs versus Jaguars. Let's go.
You know, you say this, but it's like going to be like a monkey's paw situation. We're going to get like a 10-9 Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's actually kind of shocking. The Vikings since 1977 is like the Randy Moss, Chris Carter teams were
they've
like
been good.
crazy teams.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They weren't Super Bowl.
Well, I
teams,
mean,
though.
I was seeing stats about the Cardinals, because the Cardinals are like the oldest team in football. They're like 100 years old, and they have been garbage for so goddamn long. They've never won a Super Bowl in 100 years. That's the one.
Wow.
I think that's the one team that is like, of all the teams
no one won
that
a
have
Super Bowl
suffered.
100 years ago,
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
or,
But I mean,
or 60 years ago.
And
well,
they're not
actually,
winning this year.
they never won championships back in
That
the
also
years
sucks.
before that. They were garbage back then and throughout the Super Bowl era too.
Speaking of teams that can't win things throughout
The
history,
Green Bay Packers.
well, currently the Green Bay Packers. Throughout history, the Detroit Lions. So of course it would make sense that the Lions would beat the Packers in Green Bay when they needed to win, and the Lions already knew they were playing for nothing. Here's the thing: I knew this Lions team was going to play hard because Dan Campbell, just from Dan Campbell, like that man can just motivate people. Like I just love hearing him talk because he's just like so passionate. He's like sincere. Like he's like never lying. Like he's just always he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I think that's what's so great about Dan Campbell. Plus, I think what I like about him is he's like not afraid to take risks. Like he'll do some crazy lateral shit. He'll do some wacky. He'll fake punt.
Oh, they'll go for it on fourth and short.
Yeah.
No problem.
Like
I love that.
I love this Lions team, and I am sad that we had to have to play them to make the playoffs. I wish we could have played like anyone else. I couldn't just be like the Bears again.
Yep.
But whatever, And the worst part is the Lions go 9-8. They get a winning season. They look great, and they don't make the playoff.
I'm so mad they're not in.
It is really lame.
I feel like the Lions and the Steelers would have been the two best wild card teams out of all of the wild card teams right now. It's unlucky that neither of these teams are in.
I think Vikings-Lions would have been a much more fun game than Vikings-Giants.
Yeah.
Like divisional, crazy offense is going at it.
You got to be encouraged with Christian Watson, coach. He looked very
well. Yeah,
he
I
looked
agree.
very
You
good.
do must be encouraged.
I am
Must be
encouraged.
encouraged. And you
You gotta
also
be
have to
encouraged,
be
dude.
encouraged the fact that Aaron Rodgers is probably done.
It looked like a man that is done.
He was giving everyone like the teary-eyed, glass-eyed wave at the end of the game, hugging everybody,
The
walking
walkout,
off.
yeah.
I mean, in the post-game presser, he was like, the carousel keeps spinning, and sometime you got to realize when to get off.
Oh,
like
Jesus
he,
Christ.
he legit said that. So
It took him less than 5 minutes to go lick a toad, and he's back on his shit now. Great.
listen, here's the thing. I'm still not fully convinced he's going to retire. I think his thumb impacted him this entire year.
He played horrible in this game. I can tell you that.
He played well. Apparently, he re-aggravated it. Like he took a shot, and then it re-aggravated it.
It was the one that he got upset about getting hit while he was on the ground.
Yeah,
that was the play that he got hurt on.
But overall, this year, he did okay. He was nowhere near as efficient as he has been. Which he had Devontae Adams. That helps a lot.
It's almost as if they lost a certain element of their.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like we had the same team, but that one guy was missing that gets 150 yards a game.
One
weird.
cog in the gear.
Yeah,
dude, I will say I think it's actually to give Aaron Rodgers the credit he's probably due. He's gonna retire this year most likely. That means that the 2 years prior to his retirement, he was the MVP of the league. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, he really shouldn't have gotten it last year though.
No, definitely not.
No, not last year.
Still, the fact remains,
he was still playing.
You can't take it away from
MVP level, you could say.
Yeah.
It's just it was a rough year, man. All right, it was.
Hey, the Packers they were in control. They had everything going for them. They're playing at home.
Yep.
They're playing against someone who they've always shellacked at home.
Yep.
Driver's seat, playoff implications, controller of their own destiny,
and
they choked like nobody's business.
So this was what I feared. All right, so this was we looked better. We're making plays. We're winning every week, and then this looked like the team of week 9. We went back to our old ways of the offense can't figure out how to score in the red zone. Here comes a dumb interception throw. We're driving the ball, Aaron Jones, and he fumbles it. And then the Lions get it and go kick a field goal. Right? Before halftime, if he doesn't fumble that, the Packers probably get another 3 to 7 points. And then instead of 9 to 6 at halftime, it's either 12 to 3 or they get a touchdown. It's 16 to 3. So, I mean, that was huge. And that gave the Lions hope and momentum. We're only down 3 going into halftime. We get the ball to start second half.
Well, now you can cheer for the Bucs, Coach.
I will not. So, overall, we had Christian Watson. That was a bright side. Lazard's probably gone, which, he's good, but he's not amazing. He's a good 2 or a 3 somewhere, and he's not going to be around much longer with us anyway because cap space and all that.
Go Bucs.
There was a dumb play from Quay Walker who shoved a trainer. I will say,
was that funny?
That's the second time he's shoved a trainer person. I don't understand.
What was that about? He just walked over and
So what happened was I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking because it's just idiotic and moronic on the highest level. But a Detroit trainer came out, didn't even push him or move his momentum anyway, just kind of cut in front of him to get to literally an injured player.
Yeah.
And Quay Walker took exception to it and shoved him. What are you doing, you fucking moron?
Yeah, seriously.
He's a rookie too. Get this guy out of here. I don't care how good he is.
So
I want to give him. I actually, you know what? I will devil's advocate this one because he did make an apology today.
I was gonna say he did have a good apology.
And
if he apologized, then okay. Fine.
It was a legit heartfelt. He seems like look, as someone who suffers from some anger issues as well, I
really
can relate. Wow. That's a little too real, guys. That was a little too real. I'm trying to be open here.
Hey,
I'm
gonna jump onto the I also suffer from emotional outbursts train. I'm with you there,
me
man.
too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're all
That was a bit of a distant moment there.
No, I'm totally empathetic to that.
We're all eccentric people.
Right. But no, I honestly hearing his apology and seeing his reaction in the tunnel. He was so legit upset with himself in the tunnel. He knew instantly how badly he fucked up. Yeah. And I was oh, that's real. You know what? I get that. I understand. Emotions can get the best of you, and seeing the apology, I actually, you know what? I'm kind of rooting that he can get a hold of that emotional shit.
That's
and get better.
Even still though, even if you do the best that you can as a response to that, just it's so bad. And to do it twice is awful.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
He didn't say
some kind of therapist anger management type deal.
I didn't see this apology, but if you're saying it was genuinely heartfelt, remorseful, that's important. Because
it is. There are lots of guys who
have those apology.
I mean, like
press
the core to any good apology, in my opinion, is the acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and that is
like it wasn't like
so. Here, I'm going to read the apology.
You could hear his own
voice
in it.
I want to apologize publicly off what happened. I reacted off my emotions, and I take full responsibility of making another stupid decision. Since then, I've questioned myself on why I do what I did when the trainer was doing his job. I was wrong. I understand I have to face everything that comes with the decision I've made, and I'm definitely paying for it now. Also, to explain my frustration in the tunnel, I wasn't upset about being kicked out. I knew I messed up again and was wrong for what I did, and I couldn't believe I did it again. I apologize to the Detroit Lions' entire training staff, including the person I did that to.
Like, that's literally perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
As long as you don't do it again, then fine.
So it's like he did that. He seems sincere. So like now you don't do it again.
I mean, if it happens again, he's gone. He has
if he does it again, like
well. It depends how good
this should have been the if he does it again, but this was the response he should have had the first time. But I don't know what happened the first time.
Look, if you shove a trainer, that's one thing, but if you assault women, okay, it's two things.
Right,
you got to get one out of the game immediately, okay?
Contract, okay?
But hold on, we need to talk about the worst thing, which is that a player gambling on a game that he's been.
No, you can't do that, Rob.
You
can't do that. You got to kick that guy out.
Suspend him.
Yeah, just ban him from the Hall of Fame. You can't do that.
Unbelievable. I can't believe that would happen.
The NFL
is making money off of us.
Are you kidding me? Let's just run 800 ads of the same fucking sports gambling sites over and over.
Now. I love gambling, but man, it is just way too much this season, and it's
starting to fucking hate it, man.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. Is like I actually legit hate it. It's so dumb. And
I will say I don't like gambling, and I don't like this. So I'm with you.
Well, I don't. I like casino games and stuff. I don't like sports betting at all.
I like poker. I'll play poker if you want to.
Well, that's gambling, Rob.
I mean, I guess it counts, but it's a game. I mean, it's different.
You don't get to decide
where
the
line is. You're right. That's fair. I mean,
look, all I'm saying is that the NFL can try to take as many moral high grounds as they want on any issue at all, but the fact that they still partner with DraftKings and like any other of the gambling websites.
Yeah, it's nonsense, dude.
They push it in front of you, and every stream and every single commercial break is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, it's important to note that the owners publicly have stakes in these companies.
I know.
Yeah.
it's all just as seedy as you'd think.
Yeah, that's I mean, how is that not an obvious massive conflict of interest?
Dude, and what's so funny too is like it's almost like the way that the ice cubes hold up in the back of your cup when you're trying to just get one and then they all come at once. That's the way it's been with the fucking sports betting advertisements in the NFL. They're like pretending to have this moral high ground about it because they're like, oh no, we can't possibly let this
continue. I'm covered in ice now.
Covered in ice.
And then, here now already all of a sudden.
I've never heard that metaphor used in that way. The ice that's stuck in the back of the glass. And it all
I've never heard that metaphor used, but it's right. It's correct.
It's correct. I've never heard it either.
Is Kevin Hart. Let me tell you.
Kevin Hart barking like a dog.
If I say that commercial one more time, I'm going to commit a felony.
I hate
that. Mine is the Whopper one.
And you're an actual dog.
Oh, I love the Whopper one, dude.
Oh, I fucking
I was so actually mad the first time I heard that advertisement. I was like, "How is this your ad campaign? It sucks."
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Jump out a window.
Here's the thing.
I've turned around on it. I've turned around.
But I've consistently said Whopper, Whopper, Whopper in my head.
That's the worst part.
It's on the internet too.
To boycott Burger King and make an effort to make other people do so.
It's one of those like copy pasta with the emojis memes now too. It's so fucking funny.
I actually don't know. I actually don't know which commercial you guys are talking about.
Okay, so imagine a commercial where a guy goes, Whopper, 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 Whopper.
God damn it.
I wasn't going to Burger King anyway. I'm not going to start going.
I won't be going to Burger King at all, but
garbage food.
I actually think Whopper, 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 Whopper all the time now, man. I can't get enough
Burger King
of it.
is the worst fast food that ever has existed on the face of the planet.
It's trash.
Yeah.
I
do really hate burger.
Luckily, I don't know which. I still don't know. So
it's horrible, and I just hate. Oh God! You know what the worst? That's the worst part of it is that they have now sectioned off a part of my brain that is dedicated to that fucking song for the rest of my goddamn life.
And that's how they get you, Rob. Now you want to hand it.
That's the worst.
I know. I
also had Jamal Williams with 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Who cares? Come on.
And he broke Barry Sanders' record.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah,
and Jamal Williams, he's a great guy.
He hugged Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he hugged Aaron Rodgers at the end there.
Importantly, he hates Burger King.
He hates Burger King.
He's a well-known Burger King hater.
And that was that. Packers shit themselves, and Jordan Love era probably going to begin. Woo!
Yay.
Sinvicta. Power rankings.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, we didn't have these last week.
Yep.
Crendor power rankings are back here for the wild card week. We've got a new actually, we don't. Top 5 of the power rankings here, brought to you by Dan Hansis on NFL.com. The Bible of the internet.
Burger King.
Starting with the top 5.
Power.
Beginning with Robert, also known as Alpaca Patrol on the internet.
Okay, and before I take it away, we will go to a quick message from our sponsors.
Bear Taffy.
Ranking.
All right, the top 5 of the power rankings are the San Francisco 49ers. Number 1, the Buffalo Bills staying at 2. The Cincinnati Bengals at 3. The Chiefs staying at 4. And the Eagles staying in the top 5. Rounding up the top 10
They're the 1
are
seed.
the Cowboys somehow at the 6th spot over the Chargers at 7th, the Jacksonville Jaguars at 8th, the Detroit Lions, coach.
Yep.
Detroit Lions have moved up from 10th to 9th, and the Vikings the Vikings have moved up from the 11th to the 10th spot. Now, we have had a tie for the thinnest dink. Both of these teams have risen 3 spots. Coach Crendor, name one of these 2 AFC teams.
Let's see. AFC team rising. I'm gonna go.
I'll give you a hint. I will give you this one, coach.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
One of these teams is playing this weekend.
Oh. Let's see. Playing this weekend. I'm gonna go with the.
The other team did not make the playoffs.
Oh. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try the other. I'm gonna go with the. Oh wait, Jaguars are probably 1.
And
wow.
Apollo.
I'm gonna go for the one that isn't in the playoffs. How about the Steelers?
Lame. Robert.
AFC.
What's the one in the playoffs?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Better not be the fucking Chargers. They got beat by the damn Broncos, dude.
Yeah.
God. Oh, is it the Broncos?
No.
And Bear Taffy for the.
Is it gotta be Jacksonville, I guess?
I said Jacksonville.
He said Jacksonville already.
It's still wrong. It is.
Is it still wrong?
It is still wrong. It is the Miami Dolphins.
I didn't want to guess the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
They went up.
The Dolphins went up.
They should be biggest up.
After
They were the
beating
biggest of the ups.
the vaunted New York Jet defense with a huge offensive showing.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, Rob, have moved up from 20th to the 17th spot in the power rankings, bested only by the Tennessee Titans, who moved up from 25th to 22nd. It's bested because it was like on the other end, because like it was like the worst rise, so it doesn't really matter. So
Right.
Now we go to the fattest doink.
Doink.
Coach Crendor, this one's for you.
I like that.
Dude, no, we should get that sound effect in there. Yeah.
Yeah, get that.
Coach Crendor, This team has dropped 3 spots after losing their final
Green Bay
game of the
Packers.
season. They have a very reputable quarterback who is not crazy at all, and they may have lost Devontae Adams this season.
Ooh, who could
They
it
have
be?
fallen from 9th to 12th. I'll give you a hint,
Raiders?
Coach.
Colts.
They lost to the Detroit Lions in Lambeau Field. Name this NFC North team.
Atlanta Falcons.
That sounds great.
No,
The
this is for
Cleveland
Coach.
Cavaliers.
No, this is for Coach.
There we go.
This is for Coach. This is for Coach Crendor.
Is this the Green Bay Packers.
Manchester United.
It is indeed the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, what?
Unbelievable.
It is indeed the Green Bay Packers. And I'm going to read the write-up here from Dan Hansis for Coach just because it's just funny. Stop us if you heard this one before. The Packers lost a huge game in their building in January.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there. I've heard
For
that.
all the success that has marked the bulk of Aaron Rodgers' era in Green Bay,
we're gonna
season-crushing stumbles like we saw on Sunday night against the Lions are undeniably part of the story. As for Rodgers, it remains to be seen what his future holds. The 39-year-old certainly looked like a quarterback pondering his future as he exited the field on Saturday. It's, quote, a little raw right now, unquote, Rodgers said after the loss. Quote, I want to take the emotion out of it and have conversations and see where the organization is at and see how I feel after some time has passed, end quote. The dance begins once again. That's going to do it for the power rankings. Back up to everyone for pick'ems and playoffs and Christmas. Dun-dun-dun.
Wait, what?
We're doing that again?
Next
Yeah,
Christmas.
doing it
We're
again.
already started.
You know,
Christmas.
the
Fuck it.
30 days of Christmas.
We'll make January better, sir.
Maybe we'll get rid of some of
Pretty
this, depressional seasonal depression.
Depressional
Yeah,
seasons.
Yeah, I can't even say words right.
Yep.
Thank you, Dan Hansis, for once again
baby,
another
I can't
full,
wait to talk about some pick'ems.
another full season of pick'ems.
Hey.
Thank you very much to
So-
Dan Hansis.
Hey, by the
Before
way,
we
let me just
section off,
before
Sorry, no,
Bear
you go. You
says
got it, you
his
got it.
Bear thing, I would say, you know what? At least we don't have to lose to the 49ers.
you don't have your
yeah.
seasonal
Depression.
first round loss.
Yep.
You can't
seasonal
lose in the
seasonal.
playoffs if
Yeah,
you don't
shit.
make the playoffs.
Exactly.
It's true. It's
All
true.
right,
So,
continue.
I know that well.
Before we rope off a section of the podcast for Apollo to furiously masturbate to his pick'em
Yep.
stats, too. I wanted to mention yet again, big shout out to Pixelhaven for the massive
yeah.
amount of work that they do
Huge.
because they just make the podcast better. Seeing all these stats at the
Seriously.
end of the season is just so much fun and adds so much to the show now. So thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Sincerely.
Now you can
thi-
jerk off.
This is and important to note. If you haven't,
Oh no, he started, dude.
Oh,
It's too
God.
late.
if you haven't seen the Twitter thread, go look at it. 'cause
It's so
there's
good.
A bunch of posts, and it's great. It's incredible.
Okay, we get it, Rob, but let's talk about me now.
All right, here we go. Apollo has won the pick'ems. He did it.
Yeah, he
Yep.
did
Only
well done.
wasn't winning for 1 week.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sadly, I fell below Rob again because the
sadly.
Chargers.
You,
sure it's a
you
sad,
locked
really.
the Chargers.
I don't know
It's
why.
more
I
of like a
locked the Chargers.
foregone conclusion, I would say.
I don't know why I locked him, dude. I don't know why.
I switched my lock from San Francisco to Cincinnati because Apollo locked San Francisco.
I actually want to point out that in order for you to lose that lead you had, I had to do the best out of all of us here this week.
You did
on
have
the
a
final
great week.
You did.
Yeah,
have a
true
great
that.
final week.
Discord.
You know?
Put that
Yep.
right here on the fridge. Right
Yep.
here. Rob did the best on week 18 where none of it mattered.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Apollo
better keep that up.
captures the Pick'em's crown with a record of 187-102. The fifth best season ever recorded. Number one is Bear in season 1 at 68.8. Wow.
With the asterisk
You
on
don't
it.
need
With an asterisk,
that's-
not a
there's
full
no
season.
asterisk.
Okay.
Totally normal.
Then we
Got a little
have-
Barry Bonds going on.
We all know who
Invicta.
has the actual best record.
Well, Discord and
Yeah,
That's
Invicta
me.
Well, hey,
tied
my
at 66.5%.
We'll be right back.
Rob, same season, had 66.2%. What happened that season? It must have been easy to predict that.
wow.
Wow,
What happened?
Why would you say that
You
when
read
we
off
read
my
Rob's
name,
number?
and then now it must have been easy, huh?
I'm just saying.
Rob
everybody had
can do
high
it.
pick 'em rates there.
Hey, let it be known that I had an extra game, the extra week this week.
That's
because
true,
of
you
the new.
I feel like we might
new
place a little
18-week
too much
season.
value on these.
Probably
I
was
worked
it.
hard.
We
man.
don't place enough. We don't place enough.
That all season was for this moment right now where I get to
You
gloat.
got it.
I'm allowed.
Look at the crown on your head. You're,
I
you're
fucking
the
did it.
champion.
Can we say also there's some edits on even the first screen of the final week of the regular season tweet.
It's
Have
true.
you, have you noticed?
He's got a couple foreheads in there. Yeah.
There's some
yeah.
foreheads.
I did see
That was
those.
for the tie
The
prediction.
ties, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
Which, I mean, you were 1 point off.
Yeah?
Yeah,
We're there. We're nearly there.
it was very close.
Bear did not pick the Browns a single time this year, making him in Invicta Jets season 4, the only host to not pick a team for an entire season. The Browns were
nice.
Bears' fourth most picked team prior to this season. They are now 16th.
Oh yeah, they've done a major reversal in my opinion. I like that this is named Elves on the Shelf as well. Yeah, that's really good.
That's great.
I also love that the elf is super pissed off.
Yep, that is the elf.
Should be.
Yeah.
Buds and Beefs. Invicta and Rob agreed on every Bears and Eagles game this season.
Wow.
Hey, look at that.
Most disagreements for a team was between Krendor and Rob on Jets games. Krendor won 10 of those 12.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, we share more than just a voice.
Yeah.
Assist trophy. Rob agreed with the assistant coaches the most this year, just barely. 81%. Bear 80.2, Apollo 72.7, Sinvicta 70.2, Krendor 62.8, Randy 45.4. I got a feeling Randy doesn't agree with many people.
Right.
It was nice having. I want to just take a moment. It was nice having the assistant coaches.
It was.
It was a lot of fun. I like it.
Yeah.
It happened mid-season, but yeah.
It did happen mid-season, but
it's cool. I like that addition so far.
For sure.
And maybe I'll hate it next week, and you better watch out, you motherfuckers.
I hate it.
Stay on your toes.
Back
Ice.
in the saddle, Discord picked the Texans for the first time in over 2 years. This 34-game pick against streak was the longest in podcast history.
Oh, were we trying to figure that out recently, or was that something else?
It was probably something else, I think.
There's
a lot of those
stuff.
There's a lot of weird
no
streaks
idea.
I
and
do
stuff.
a lot of drugs. I forget.
And they were right, too. The Texans won on this game.
Yeah.
And then, if you want to see them, there's a lot of stats that you can see. I'll link it.
I want to point out.
Of course you do.
I did one gloat, and that's I picked more upsets than anyone else except Krendor, who picked way too many upsets.
That did surprise me that you and Krendor had.
Listen, okay, he had 68 upsets. I had 87. It wasn't even
You
close.
had way too many, man.
Not even close.
The difference between first and last was 87 minus 68.
Rob and Discord actually had the least upset picks. 40
Yeah,
and
you
46.
fucking pussies.
No, I tried to be safe this year, and look where it got me.
Right
That's
next
really
to the
funny,
most
too, that
upset
you-
pick person.
I know you two had like very similar records, and you had like wildly different results for upsets predicted.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I should have been just a little bit more risky, and Krendor should have been just a little bit.
I love
Yep. With our powers
favorite-
combined,
Yeah.
we can rule
My
the
favorite
Pick'em's
stat
world.
on all of this is the fact that Rob has picked the Texans the least, but has the best predicted Texan team.
Yeah.
5%.
That's pretty good.
And then
That tie really screwed everything up.
in addition to those stats, there's a giant Twitter thread. You can see all these. They also
Which coach will not
Pixelhaven-
link?
I will link. I've been linking it every week, right?
You've been doing good.
And then there's if our pick'ems correlated to playoffs, which is really fun to see. The
There's one
Lions would actually be my 1 seed.
That's so funny, but there's one that I feel like is funnier than the rest. And that
What's
is Sinvicta, I will never pick the Rams again. Actually would have had the Rams in the playoffs.
The Rams would be in the playoffs, playing against the Buccaneers of all teams.
Playing against the Bucks.
Oh, that's great.
That is just, I loved that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I actually got really close on the NFC matchups.
Yeah.
I had the Vikings a little higher than they should have been, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did pretty decent.
I had everything except I had the Titans over the Jags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I missed.
Yeah,
what do I miss?
honestly,
The
we all
Packers
did
and Steelers?
pretty good.
We all did pretty
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, I only
Yeah.
have 2 wrong actually. It was
Yeah,
Washington
Packers and
and
Steelers.
Tennessee.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at that compared with the
Packers as well.
preseason division prediction outcomes as well, which is another fucking one. Just this image, dude, is so good, and there's like 20 of these things.
There is a
Yeah.
genuinely
The whole thread.
shocking thing in this image too, and that is literally none of us predicted a single NFC West team's placement correctly.
That is wild.
Not a single one of us.
Well, that's not our fault. It's the Rams' fault.
Yeah.
Well,
That is
no,
Rams' fault
none of
mostly,
the
yeah.
other spots too. No,
Even then, I mean,
not
like,
just the number 1 spot, but the rest of the spots we were also all wrong.
So fucking crazy.
And then one of my favorites is us compared to the major news sites like Sports Illustrated, CBS, and ESPN.
Uh-huh.
And Jamie Eisenberg apparently had the best win rate out of anyone in like picking games. Me and Rob
CBS
were
guys
the
at
worst.
top.
Yeah, 2 CBS.
Yeah.
Apparently CBS is the place to go to get your pick of specifically those 2.
Yeah.
And then Apollo ended up being 5th.
Right under Rosenthal, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Look at that.
Discord, which, just picking the team that's probably more of the popular vote ended up being like above average. So it turns out if you just pick based on like win percentage for the most part, you're probably going to do
You'll do pretty good, yeah.
And upset
And
picks, not
you
great.
and Rob should just pick off the power rankings at this point.
Upset picks not properly not thought through. All right, are bad.
Yeah, one's just made purely on whim and spontaneous.
When those picks pay off, they are fun.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Speaking of which, it's time to pick them.
It's playoff pick'em.
Playoff pick'ems.
Featuring our very first playoffs assistant coach of the week, Danny Boy 104. Thanks, Danny Boy, for your support over on the Patreon page. You can find a link down in the description below. And Krendor's done such a good job with that, Krendor.
Thank you very much.
Good, Krendor.
Yes. Thank you.
Danny Boy, his best predicted teams include the Eagles and Vikings, and also the Chiefs, which has been a common one. But I noticed he's 14-1, which means he picked 2 Chiefs losses correctly, which is
probably
pretty
the Bengals
impressive.
one. But I don't know
Maybe the Bengals one, but then another one, which
Bills.
Oh yeah, okay, that might have been it. But either way,
they're still close.
If you want to be an assistant coach of the week in the future, either for the playoffs this year or for next season, go check out the Patreon, become a $5 or higher patron, and you will join the assistant coach role in the Discord and be opted in for the drawing.
Woohoo!
That's it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Seahawks 49ers.
Oh boy.
I mean, I'm gonna lock the 49ers. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so that's our assistant coach's lock of the week as well. He made a comment on this. He said it's the end of Geno season and the start of Purdy season. So that doesn't roll off the tongue as well, in my opinion.
True.
I mean, this is a lock I'd be happy to lose. So that's why I'm locking it.
It's pretty much been always Purdy.
Low hanging fruit just because it's.
His name sounds like pretty. That's the joke is that it's like
I
pretty.
do get that. I understand it now. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you, Rob and
Purdy God.
Take the Seahawks, motherfucker.
Let's go, Geno season, baby.
I'm going 49ers.
I'm going 49ers. Bears starting 0-1.
What was the record this year between these teams?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It
Probably doesn't matter.
49ers against the Seahawks. They
lost both games.
Yeah, they lost.
Seahawks
both.
lost both games, and
they weren't really close.
Even when the Niners were bad, they lost
Bear,
that game
I applaud your commitment to the
gotta
Bears,
stick
though.
to my guns at this point. Come on,
I like
do it.
I respect it, and I hope that happens. That's what I want.
Yeah, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna get peer pressured into the Niners, but I actually think that the Seahawks could win. I want
because you want Geno season.
Come on, Geno season.
Well, you guys all just razz me so much for my pickups. No, I have to be.
One more time with Geno season. Come on, this is now or
That's
never.
true. You've been saying Geno season all year long.
All right, fine. Seahawks.
Hey,
Geno season.
I just
High
can't
five.
stop staring at Rob's depiction of Jim Mora in the
Yeah.
it's super perfect.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Chargers. Jaguars.
Oh boy, you gotta go Jags here. Come on,
Go
Jags
Jags.
miracle run all the way through.
Jaguars.
Florida Bowl.
I will be locking the Jacksonville
Love
Jaguars.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Classic Krendor lock.
Yes.
This game is I do think it's a 50-50 because it really
knows.
both these teams have played good and they've both played bad all year. They've done a lot of both. How do you know who the fuck is
whoever
going
they
to
play
show
next.
This is actually the playoff game I'm looking forward to the most, I think.
Yeah,
Because of
Saturday
how
night.
kind of evenly matched it is.
Be
I
interesting.
think this is it's an NBC crew. I think Saturday. I think they have both night games.
Yeah.
So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah. You know what? Give me the Chargers because I want the Jags to win, but I think the Chargers are going to win.
All right.
I'm taking the Jags, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. You never know.
No, I think I'm 0 for 2 so far, but let's keep going.
All right.
No, Jaguars are gonna win.
All right. Dolphins.
They're hot.
Bills. I believe this
Like
is
the
the Nickelodeon game.
That's exciting, but yes, I don't
Yep.
think
I am-
Tua is going to play.
I'm gonna lock
No.
the Bills.
Oh, I've already locked
Yeah.
the Bills. But you can lock the Bills too.
No,
if
we
you
can-
want.
we're in the playoffs.
Playoffs, double
yeah,
locks
yeah.
are
You can
allowed.
just-
And there are others, but you go ahead. If
Why don't you
want.
guys get a room?
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
mini
everybody
galley with our
Bills.
Bills.
Is that an option?
Bills.
I was
Yeah.
not told.
Everybody Bills.
Yeah, Bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bills.
Giants Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be Vikings. I'm gonna give them one game.
And then 2 more after that. And then a Super Bowl.
I'm gonna give them one game, and then I'm not going to give them any games anymore.
It's gonna be the Vikings. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings, but I'll tell you, if I didn't take the Seahawks earlier, if I didn't take the Seahawks earlier, I actually think the Giants.
I think they can win.
Hard.
I actually think the Vikings will win, but I'm gonna take the Giants because I want to cheer against them.
Wait, hold on. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say something here, and maybe you'll agree, maybe disagree. Now that the Lions are out, I feel like the Giants are the team that are like the spookiest underdog that actually might have some kind of a shot.
Well, it doesn't transfer teams, Rob. It's a different team.
They probably are, though, yeah.
That team left when the Lions left. They didn't. Yeah, it's like Invictus. Like the Giants are still the Giants. They're still a little shoddy. I don't think they're gonna.
I mean, they still took the Vikings. They almost took the Vikings to overtime.
Yeah, it's the Vikings, but we're all rooting for the Giants.
Yeah, and I'm picking the Giants.
Bear because that's a Super Bowl pick.
And I'm picking the Giants, and that's gonna be probably bad. Ravens, Bengals.
Bengals.
It's Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals.
This is gonna be a fucking humiliating defeat, dude.
It's gonna.
None of us here are gonna be rooting for them.
It's actually crazy how the Bengals just get a bye week.
So are we? So and we talked about this a little bit, but so like Lamar Jackson, he's gonna try to play.
He's gonna try to play, probably.
I don't think he's gonna play.
I
don't think he should, but I think
writing on the wall, man.
They're gonna try to make it seem like he's gonna play all week, and then he's not gonna play.
Yeah.
I think even if he does play, they're still gonna lose. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, if he's still partially injured, I mean,
the Bengals won the last 8 games in a row.
Yeah,
that's it.
Cowboys, Buccaneers.
I'm going to be locking the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go, Cowboys! Big D over at Jerry's World going to be broadcasting it, and I'm going to get my first lock win of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Go Cowboys!
For a man who razzes me on my magical musings, I feel like you have quite a magical streak in your locking against the team that you want to win.
Rob,
it's true.
It got me through the Super Bowl in 2020.
It stopped working last year, though, right?
It did, I believe, but
no, I had
1 for 2.
Yeah, I was distracted last year. This time, the curse comes back. It's real, and we all acknowledge it.
I'm going to blame the excitement of the playoffs for my failure to acknowledge the assistant coach's picks.
We didn't do
Well, it's because it was 3 unanimous, and they agreed with us. So
that's true.
And actually,
Bengals.
I was actually even looking at his picks, at their picks because of the Vikings, because they're good at picking the Vikings. So I was like, all right, I'll go with the Vikings.
They did pick the Vikings. Yep.
Danny Boy, of course, 12-3 through the season picking the Vikings. Pick the Vikings, pick the Bills, pick the Jags. Has picked the Bengals with us as well, and also picked the Cowboys.
Oh,
I'm gonna pick the Cowboys.
I
don't want us to be fooled into thinking the Bucks are even remotely good.
Tom Brady, dark magic. I got to go Buccaneers.
That's fair.
Yeah,
if you're voting for dark magic, I respect it. But if we're
100%.
picking based on football, it's the Cowboys.
We have the darkest of magic in play.
Oh
now.
yeah,
you know for a fact the Cowboys are gonna be up, and then they're gonna step out of bounds early. They're gonna Tom Brady's standing on the sidelines.
It is Mike McCarthy. It is Mike McCarthy and time management. He is awful.
Tom Brady's gonna have 30 seconds to tie the game, and it's gonna happen. And
I don't know if you're joking or serious, but I'm
kinda
serious.
am.
These things will happen. You are preaching.
That's what I'm saying. It's his dark magic.
You're not aware of what voodoo you work at this moment. It's going to happen this way.
I'm fully aware.
That's why I'm picking the Bucks.
I mean,
I'm
even
also picking
last year, the Rams almost felt the dark magic. Without the Cooper Kupp miracle play, they would have lost.
You mean without Leonard Fournette walking into the end zone, giving them enough time to score instead of waiting?
Yeah.
Now,
Thank God.
Look, I'm picking. I've been saying it for the past couple of weeks. It really is starting to feel like a year that Tom Brady is going to win the Super Bowl again,
man.
It's inevitable.
And I just because no one believes in that team, no one believes in him, and he is going to get powered up by it. And
Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
I don't want to. I'm a Jets fan. Maybe this is a bridge too far for me. I am rooting for him though.
Randy's picks coming in. Here we go.
Randy.
He's got the Seahawks, Geno season.
What?
He's got the Chargers.
No.
Okay.
The Bills.
All right.
The Giants.
All right.
No.
The Ravens. Oh, no. And the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Randy.
Maybe that's a good sign.
Cowboys.
Randy is locking Geno season.
Let's go. Randy
He's
believes.
done it. Who knows?
Randy
Randy may
believes.
have
Dude,
powerful
that has
coin magic.
confirmed it.
That is incredible.
And that is going to do it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Here's a list of patrons you can see. It's kind of blurry, but you can probably see your name on there. This is high quality. There it all is.
Brady, Tom
We'll see you next time.
Brady,
Playoffs.